let's squash this now, dancer people. There is a place for networking and there is a place for building relationships. There's a place for both of those things, right? Period. Whatever anybody else tells you is just for the birds, right? That's just not it. There's a place for both of them. I've seen both of them. I've used both of those things, and it works. The problem is when you are pretending to build relationships with people in order to use them as a connection.
Hey, the Steezy podcast is brought to you by us, Steezy Studio, the #1 dance app on the App Store and Google Play Store with over 1 million downloads. We provide curated online dance classes taught by the world's best instructors. Why did we create Steezy? To help you reach your dance goals one step at a time. Whether that goal is to perform with the biggest and best musical artists in the world or just be the life of the party at your cousin's wedding. I'm your host, Clay Boontanakit. Let's get to it. Hey everyone, it's Clay, director of video here at Steezy Studio, and today's guest is Ade Willis, originally hailing from Chicago, Illinois, right?
Yep.
Movement lifestyle under your belt, a billion different musical artists traveling the world. But I want to learn more about that. I only know that base understanding of Ade. I feel like this is a bit of a mystery man. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We've been so busy here at Steezy.
Yeah, I've been seeing you a lot this week.
Yeah, Ade, I've been watching your dancing for so long because of Movement Lifestyle. And I just think like there's this history here that not enough people know about. And I'm just so pumped to dig. Are you willing to release the hidden shadow of Ade though?
So here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I love you guys. So, this is probably, y'all are definitely the only ones who I'll probably do this for because I really value privacy and I really don't share a lot. Purposely.
What is it about privacy that you value so much? Like other dancers are they're like, I want some spotlight. I need to get this viewership because otherwise I'm gonna not have a profession.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it comes down to what you see right as success, right? So for me, success is being able to dance.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Yeah.
Being able to provide for myself, I can do that. And then being able to help out anybody else however I possibly can. I can do that too. So I don't need anything else, right? Like I'm a really simple person. There's not a lot to me. Some people might say boring person actually, but yeah, that's just kind of like where I leave it at. And I'm satisfied with that. I don't need anything else. Also too, because I've seen what it does a lot, and you start craving and you feel like, oh, I need this to fulfill myself. And then
you need the fame, you need the what do you see?
You need to be seen.
The attention.
The attention starts to become your identity, right? And I mean, there's tons of science, right? You can go on Harvard's website, Princeton, anywhere, right? And you can literally see study after study after study that's done on the effects of this long term, right? When you're seeking that, you feel like you need that, and it's not healthy for you. It's just not, right? So we can't pretend and we can't really act like, oh, it's so good anymore. It's no, the signs are clear. This is not healthy in the long run. To continue to seek this thing is actually very destructive for you as a person. And for me, I don't really want to do anything to destroy myself faster in that sense, right? I already do enough, I eat enough, cheeseburgers and stuff, I don't need to add all that, the mental taxation that comes along with that. A big reason why that specifically, I don't really think that's a good thing to add to you is also because of how it affects other people around you too. If I eat a cheeseburger, well, I gotta deal with that.
A lot of talk about cheeseburgers right now. I'm gonna come back to that.
Yo. Whenever it's something mental, it affects the people around you too. And if I'm on a stage or if I'm somewhere where people are coming to me to who almost are inspired by me, I might just be giving them a bunch of emptiness and vanity and things that are not anything with real substance, you know? So I don't know, that's kind of how I see it, but most people will look at me and say that and be like, no. So
interesting. I'm really curious about where this understanding of your values came from, because you're saying these things, but I know that this was not 2-year-old Ade just hanging out with the homies in preschool being like, you know what, I don't think I want the spotlight.
Yeah, I feel like it has to do for me with like creating a value system, right? Getting my priorities in order and creating a working value system.
Sure.
Something that is self-sustaining, right? I've looked across history and I've seen study after study and how I personally feel about it and all these things from my own experiences from my friends, and it kind of everything took me to the same conclusion, which is that like that's not what to go after. Like that's not the thing.
Have you run into any particular pivotal moments that led you to that stronger understanding?
I gotta be careful with my words, so I don't want to
dishonor anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to make nobody angry. Okay, so I can give you kind of like a broader understanding. So, like moving out to LA, right, from Chicago, and like when I came out, like social media was not how it is today.
Yeah, it was just on the cusp.
Just on the cusp, right? That was YouTube. You know, we were making some YouTube stuff and it was cool, but like social media was just starting to like arrive. And before that, it was really just you get in a room and I'm just dancing with people, right? That was the beginning and end of everything. It was like, and that's, I mean, anything. That's if it's a class, that's if I'm just like doing a session and just freestyling with people, that's whatever, you know, it's just you get in the room and you dance it, right? That's the beginning and that's the end of it. Now there was work involved and stuff, like, you know, you could dance for different artists and stuff like that, but that felt more, I feel like, that always feels more like far away until you're actually there. So when I first moved out, like I was just used to just hanging out with people, right? We would just hang out, we just dance, we talk about dance, we would geek out about everything. It was like, oh, who's got the newest, hottest YouTube video, you know, and there was we talking about that. Oh, Keone came out with the blah, 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 blah.
Who were you chatting with in the beginning? Who were those friends?
We already know. Ian, Brian, before that, CJ, one of my homegirls from way back, Katie Leone, a lot of like Chicago peeps and whatnot.
You were all friends back in Chicago?
And so eventually, it like if you fast forward from that and we get to where we're at now, like the landscape is completely different landscape. Yeah. So going from, oh, we're all getting to a room, we all hanging out, we all dancing, and just having a good time, and even like just like chilling and like yo, old ML was legitimately like a hangout spot. Like we legitimately were just like playing music. They had the loft, they had the kitchen, people were cooking. Like what?
What a time.
Where do you see that at now? I feel like definitely not. I don't know. I don't see it in like Southern California no more. Yeah. Maybe somewhere else, but so for me, like those intimate settings grew me. Like I felt like becoming, you know? Yeah. And I got to know people and really connect with people on a deep level. And that was just like the beginning and the end of it. And I wasn't really looking for anything.
Have you always craved that sort of depth with people? Did you know that about yourself, like before you moved to California?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's interesting to think about. Well, you came out here to dance, right? And the reason why people come to LA is for the opportunities and the jobs, right? And that also means that many people come here to make connections. Right. And that has many different meanings, right? There's making connections and then there's cultivating relationships, right? And it seems that there's something in these early days, especially I think like it's nice that you also had a piece of home with these people that came here with you. And so I think there's something there that is an interesting sort of like benchmark for the Ade that we know now that it built a foundation for the value that you have in people and relationship.
Right. Well, I guess it's really just, understanding that, okay, first of all, let's squash this now, dancer people. There is a place for networking and there is a place for building relationships. There's a place for both of those things, right? Period. Whatever anybody else tells you is just for the birds, right? That's just not it. There's a place for both of them. I've seen both of them. I've used both of those things, and it works. The problem is when you are pretending to build relationships with people in order to use them as a connection. Yeah. That is when we start to have problems. That's when people start feeling like you're using them, right? Yeah. And that's essentially what's happening, So I think knowing the difference between the two is necessary. There are certain people who the relationships are very surface level, you could say, and I see them and it's, hi, how are you doing? And da-da-da-da. We talk a little bit and we know each other exists and they know how I dance and they know how I choreograph. And if they're like a producer or something, they know exactly where to find me. They know how to contact me. Yeah. Easy. Yeah. Right? Nothing's forced. Yeah. And then I have the people who I genuinely hang out with, who also dance and who I also may get jobs from, but I'm not pushing that from them. I'm not trying to squeeze that out of them. And I think that that's really the key. And it grounds you, right? Having, we all have, well, some of us, but people have friends, people have families. We have these things. And we know that it's important to have people that are just there for you on just a you level, right? Just a friendship level. And so I think I had always known that just from seeing the way families operate and work. I'm a very analytical person, so I tend to analyze people and things a lot. And when I look at a family dynamic, it's essentially almost the same thing for friendships, except the only difference is really we're maybe, we're not related by blood. That's one, but also we do have a choice. There's more of a choice, I should say, to connect or not, right? I can't choose who my family is. Now, I can disown them, but they're still my family, right? But with those friendships, it's the same exact thing. It's just now we're really making a decision yes, this is the person. So I think that that's what really helped me to understand, just seeing the way family dynamics work and seeing the way that friendship is supposed to work. That really helped me to differentiate between networking versus friendships. But there is room for both. I think trying to use people is just the thing that's gonna kill people eventually. Even in the pandemic, there's so many people were hurting. The pandemic was messing people up. And if you look at the people who were still doing okay, were the ones who have built genuine relationships. Yeah. They had built genuine relationships. It wasn't just, I'm just trying to get something out of you and put on a show. No, I'm really care about you. I'm going to put the time and the work and the effort in, right?
Intentionality was really reshaped during the pandemic time.
Exactly. And so these are the people who I saw who continued to have work, continue to be able to feed themselves and their families, you know? So I think that's something to think about for everybody. Yeah.
Who are some dancers that you found to be especially intentional during pandemic times and I guess throughout your life? People that's they have that balance. They do both. They're a great friend, a great person, but also they can network when they need to.
Sora Yang. Yep. Great. All around great. She's dope. That's the homie right there. Yeah. Shay Latukolan. I hope I said his name right. He gonna kill me if he see this. And I didn't. He's from the Netherlands. Okay. It's because he cares about dance. He cares about dance so much. He cares about the people who he comes in contact with through dance. Because of, I think it might be a piece of it may be because he cares about dance so much. So he's a really good one. I feel like there's so many. Lando Wilkins, and he got a whole family now. You know what I'm saying?
Wilkins does. Yeah, he's got a baby.
Yeah, he got a baby. He got a wifey.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's more into like collectibles and custom figures and stuff now. But he's always just been like, you know how you always hear like, oh, you a real one.
Yeah.
That's Lando.
He's a real
all
one.
the way. But there's so many more. I could go on forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's zoom out.
Okay.
That was great.
Okay.
We went straight in, got to learn a bit about how you feel about kind of relationships in dance. And
Yeah.
I think that is basically the thing that I almost always wish conversations go straight to.
Yeah.
Because I feel that is the most important aspect. I mean, the whole point of dance is sharing, right? And you got to have a good solid foundation of people who love on you and that you can feel community with in order to have the sort of energy to keep up in such a wild competitive field. But I do want to zoom out and ask about a few interesting things. So,
oh boy.
So one thing that I think is super interesting that I don't know what you did or how you did this. You have traveled so much. I consider myself a fairly well-traveled person, but we took a little dive into some stuff, some social media things.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen Astana, Kazakhstan, Cape Town, Paris, Bordeaux, Seoul, Tokyo, New York, Guangzhou, Agra, Taipei, St. Petersburg, Kota, Ambon, Holland, Denmark, Spain, Belgium, and I'm sure that's only the smallest portion.
I don't even know how did you guys find most of this stuff? Most of this stuff isn't even out anymore. Like nobody can find this. What the crap, man?
Don't worry about it, Ade.
What's going on, man?
I hope you weren't doing anything bad in some of these places. You're like, I wasn't even dancing, man.
I wasn't. I don't think so.
But you've done Euro and Asia tours, and probably some other tours, right? How did you set these up? Did you set these up? Were people just like, hey, I want to have you, Ade, in all of these places? I have no idea how this works.
Yeah, you do. Come on, man.
I want to hear your story.
Okay.
I have assumptions.
Okay. Well, I'll just take you back. I'll give you the history. So I remember I moved out to LA December 2011. It was the day before my birthday.
Oh.
I didn't know what I was doing and how I was going to do anything. Same old story we heard a million times, you know. Broke as a joke, trying to figure it out. So I just kind of stuck with the people who I knew, right? And I knew maybe like 4 or 5 people. Ian had moved out before me. And then he was living with Brian Puspos. And those two, and it was either Bam or June. I know they all lived together at one point, and then one switched out. But
what a squad.
I know, like crazy. They had classes. I would go to classes. They were hanging out and just chilling. I would just hang out with them, and they'd be like, oh, we're going to Movement Lifestyle. During this time, Movement Lifestyle didn't exist, right? Sean offered us, he wanted to have people come to the studio and check it out before it opened.
Sean Everisto created Movement Lifestyle.
Yes.
He's from the Bay Area, right?
Yes, from the Bay Area, owner of Movement Lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I had never met him. We go to his studio. He's just showing us around, talking about what it's going to be and and everything and what, you know, just what the plan is pretty much. And I met him, and then we left, and then I started taking class there and at Debbie's, at Millennium, all over the place. Yeah. And just kept meeting more people. Kept meeting more people. And eventually, it was like maybe end of 2012 into maybe end of 2014.
You're 2 years in.
And I remember like everyone, like I was in almost like everyone who people thought was someone, I was in their video.
Yeah.
I was just in their video.
Everyone, I've seen you there.
Everyone was like, hey, can you do my video? Sure. Hey, can you do my video? Sure. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
To the point where it was pretty exhausting, actually.
I bet.
Yeah, it was pretty exhausting. I'm not even going to lie. Now looking back with some hindsight.
That youthful energy.
Yeah. So I just kept doing that. I was just in every class. I was in every video that I could possibly do, and I didn't know what else to do. That was it. I had an agent.
Did you audition to have an
Yes,
agent?
I auditioned.
Okay.
I didn't do it the easier way that I honestly wish
What's
I
the
did.
easy way? Let the people know.
So the easy way is this. You know somebody who is a part of whatever agency you want to be a part of, and then you ask them for a referral to refer you.
Oh.
You give them your headshot and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
If
They
they
just
like you,
refer
they
you.
like
If they
you.
like you, they like you.
Are you still part of any agencies?
Currently, no. That's a
I was
whole
gonna ask for
nother
a
story.
referral, but no, I'm just kidding. So I didn't know there's this easy way. I should have. No.
It's definitely super, super, like
Yeah.
it's way easier to go that way.
So you auditioned for this.
Yeah, I auditioned for it. Got a phone call saying they wanted me. Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Came, went to the meeting, and I distinctly remember, like, them telling me like who. I'm not gonna mention agency or whatnot and stuff, but I distinctly remember them telling me like who I was gonna be.
Oh.
Like as a artist. I distinctly remember them saying, "Yep, this is what we got for you. This is who we want you to be. You're gonna be doing this type of stuff, and that's it." And then I remember saying, "Well, I kind of want to like do this and this and this, and I would like to actually eventually choreograph." And the person who I was talking to laughed right in my face, laughed,
What?
and said, "Well, you've got to pay your dues first." Exactly like that, with that exact attitude and everything.
This is
I'm
some
not.
like movie scene.
I'm not exaggerating. This legitimately happened to me, and so I said, "Okay." I stayed with them, continued to work with them, and then eventually I just kept doing class stuff, and kept on and kept on and kept doing choreography videos, and I got an email. I just randomly got an email from a camp called Urban Dance Camp.
Ooh-wee.
And they just said, "Yeah, we want to book you to teach."
Wow.
And I had maybe like 1 or 2 pieces of choreography up. I probably should not have. I'm not gonna say I should not have. I should have. It was a great experience. I'm glad that I did it. But I definitely wasn't like ready. That was a big camp. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
I think a lot of people though, like they would see you and they'd see a lot of these people at these camps and they'd be like, wow, this person they're just so accomplished.
Yeah.
And people that appear on the screen at these big events seem like larger than life.
Right.
And people forget that most people getting these experiences are a little bit terrified.
Yeah.
Overexcited.
Yeah.
And it's a whole human right there.
Right. That's a whole person. This is not no magical Disney story. No. This is a whole person. I'm not Iron Man. None of us are. We all got issues just like anybody else, right? We all trying to just work and take care of ourselves like anybody else. It's like we're literally thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
People. We are people. All of them. The highest, biggest, you know what I'm saying? I don't care who it is. If it's Isabel or if it's an Ade. We all people.
You mean it's an Isabel or an Ade? You know, don't bring yourself.
You funny, man.
So yeah, you didn't feel like you were like really like prepared.
Yeah, no, and I mean I wasn't because I hadn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Right? But that if I hadn't done that, it would have still just been a question mark. I figured out, oh yeah, I need to like get my stuff together as far as being a choreographer. But I figured that out from going there.
Trial by fire.
Exactly. So I'm glad that it happened. And then it was like a month or 2 after that, I got hit up from some organizers in Russia, and they same exact thing in the email.
Oh.
So I didn't really do anything.
You didn't set these things up.
I didn't do anything. It just happened.
I guess when you've put in that amount of work and you've appeared in so many videos. I think like I want to look at it from, I'm going to remove the skill that I know you have.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at it from a lens of I'm a viewer and I'm an organizer, right? Oh, I'm following, as an organizer, I'm following Brian Puspos. I'm following these people that have, bigger numbers, right? I just keep seeing
bigger numbers back then was like 10,000.
Yo, 5,000 views on a video, you're viral.
Yeah, yo, for real.
TikTok, what?
Right? What is that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, connect through my Hotmail.
Right? Wait, videos on Instagram? Huh?
What is that?
Not a thing yet.
These people, these organizers for events, saw you appearing in videos over and over and over again. And I think there's something to be said about not just having high skill level, but also showing up, making yourself available to people around you that that you care about.
Right.
I think that sort of consistency is something that becomes really clear and obvious to see. Like I'd say, let's use newer generation people who are doing this. Hugh Apparente.
Yeah.
Dom Johnson.
Yep.
These people are class takers. They're appearing in things. They're training
That's
like
true.
crazy. But they're also getting opportunities through there. Yes, they have
Well,
high skill level.
Dom is actually, I always say that dude's a genius because he understood. I think he figured out, or maybe he didn't figure it out, but he did it. He figured out what it meant to build a community, like, or not even to build, but to be a part of a community. He figured out the importance of that. And like, if you have a community of people around you, like we all hyping each other on, it looks like fire to everybody on the outside.
It does. You can see it in a lot of videos, like online videos, where people craft the experience of a hype crowd, and then when you actually see one, you're like, that feels right.
Right. And that's kind of the whole, even like the whole era. I feel like it's dying out a little bit, but the whole, well, actually a lot because of the pandemic. But the whole dance class phase where everything that was like no concepts, no nothing, just dance class videos.
Yeah.
That's what it was all about, was
So
just
fun.
these hype environments,
Miss
right?
the era.
Hey,
Hey, when's the last time you've seen a physical shoe throw?
a physical shoot
Like
throw?
an actual shoe throw? When's the latest time?
Maybe like a month or two ago.
Really?
Yep. And
Whose
it was
class?
it was as a joke. We were in a session.
See, why is it like ironic? It's a joke now. What about the real? You're right. So, anyways, it's the cultures have sort of shifted.
Yeah.
But anyways,
yeah.
let's go back.
Okay.
You were consistent, right? And I think that's such a special thing that not many people have under their belts in a profession / hobby that moving on to the next bigger and better thing is what's valued in the masses.
Well, the thing too is like I was consistent. This is why for me it's kind of crazy. Obviously, like the whole landscape, everything is different now, but like people were still getting followers and stuff back then, and people's videos and stuff still had bomb numbers, and those were the people who was like pretty much teaching and whatnot. I didn't have none of that. Like I didn't. To this day, I've never had the craziest anything. Like I just had good relationships. I guess okay work ethic, you could say, and like you said, consistency. Right?
Showing up.
And then I can also tell you that after that initial like getting one camp or two camps and a few, then it just that legitimizes you. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they are able to do this. Now other people start to see you as a teacher.
Yeah.
Right? As like a established teacher, even if you're not established, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is actually perspective.
It is.
Right? As far as like if you just want to just get out and just teach, a lot of it is perspective. And then I remember later on, I wanted to tour. I had never done like a teaching tour, but I wanted to tour. I knew like camps here and there, but I wanted to really just like go out for like a month or two, kill it, come back home.
Yeah.
And again, won't name any names.
Sure.
But some people who I was working with who were supposed to kind of handle and manage that side of things for me, they kind of wasn't really like it was almost like you could tell again, didn't really believe that it was possible.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hey, here's all of these emails back, everything was through emails.
Yeah.
Here's all of these emails. Can you contact these people? And
You set that up. You put in the work to prepare for these things, and they were supposed to take it in the home stretch.
But, I hadn't even contacted these organizers yet. So I literally just was like, I know these people. This is their email address. Can you set this up for me? Right? They were like, yeah, I hit them all up. Nothing. No reply. And this kept happening, and I was just like, okay, this is crazy, but whatever. Fast forward a little bit, some crazy life stuff happened, and then I was just like in the spot where I just really felt like I just want to move forward with like just dance stuff. Like I want to do this now. So I just hit all those people up, same list, hit them all up myself. I got almost all of them got back to me.
Wow.
All of them. And then that was my first tour. I did, I want to say it was Japan.
Japan?
I did Japan. I stayed out in Japan for like a month.
Wow.
Yep, I hit all over Tokyo, Fukuoka, Nagoya, Niigata. Where else? Hiroshima. Hiroshima is the spot.
Really?
Yo, shout out Flex Studios. Oh my goodness. Hiroshima is the spot, man.
Oh.
But yeah, I stayed out there for a while, taught a whole bunch, came back home. And then after that, it was like, oh, I know I can do this now. Like, I started it, I finished it, done.
Yeah. Going back to Japan, what's your favorite thing about Japan?
Oh, that's the hardest question in the world.
I have a good guess. Want to hear it? Heated toilet seats.
Oh, he wins, 100%. Heated toilet.
People are great. Food are great. Heated
toilet seats go crazy, yo. At first, you kind of like, wait, what's going on? Why is so? You like looking around.
Does someone sit here now?
Somebody in my hotel? What's going on? But no, heated toilet seats is fire. But what is it called? The cleaning one? Yeah. But it is clean. It's way cleaner. It's supposed to be way better, but. I don't know.
Call it Ade Willis.
Yeah, literally bidet. No, not Willis.
Don't say.
No, you can't have my last name bidet. No. Food is ridiculous. Culture is just rich. It's just so rich over there.
Slapped in the face with culture. Everywhere you go, you're just like, wow, I'm in it.
Literally,
it's a special experience.
The fashion is out of this world. I've been like really big on fashion since I can remember.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. Like they are just on it. They're on it. They have their own thing.
They're also willing to be bold.
Yep.
And I think that's a very special. I think that's a great character trait in a lot of people. But when there's a society that has a culture of, I do think that there's a lot of oppression behind it, which is also why boldness arises, right? There is rebellion from there, but that is part of the culture too. Right. Yeah, it's a cool experience.
Yeah. And then lastly, we got to throw this in there before we move on.
Yeah.
Anime. Anything anime, I'm about it. Yes. I don't care what nobody's saying. It's before all the fads and all the people who, oh, yeah, no, you're not in no anime. Oh. You ain't in no anime. Get out of here.
Ade, give me your top 3 real quick.
I can't.
No, yes, you
can.
No,
I love it too much.
Top 3.
I can't do it. My heart is like pounding.
Top 3 currently.
Currently. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay. I'm getting kind of soft now. I'm starting to like these little romantic ones and like the little,
What romantic
ones? Little. I
don't
know.
Like
Little dramas.
Darling vibes, like the.
Never. There's actually a good they did like a movie I think to it too. It's called Erased.
It's one of my favorite animes of all time.
Erased is ridiculous.
That is top 3 for me.
It's ridiculous.
Jujutsu and that one is a
yeah,
top 3.
And I don't know the last one.
That's okay.
What's your last one?
I mean, I feel like there's so many like classics.
That's the problem. If I go back,
I think I was so satisfied by like early story arcs of Hunter x Hunter. I feel like that's such a good.
They need to finish it.
I know.
Please.
I know. It's painful.
Please finish it. If anybody knows anybody who knows anybody, tell them to finish it.
Hey, get it done.
Please.
Yeah. So June 19th, 2016,
rapper Logic followed you on Instagram.
Oh my goodness! How do you know this?
And he's still following you to this day. Actually,
I don't even know the date. How do you know this? Did
What
you hack my account?
What was the dance that you did?
Did you hack my account? How do they know this? This is actually kind of scary. What is going on?
What dance did you do?
I don't even remember.
Yeah?
I don't know.
How were you feeling when that happened?
I didn't actually know for a minute until he DM'd me.
He DM'd you?
Yeah, and he was asking me to do to choreograph some stuff for a project for him.
Oh.
Yeah, but we just couldn't make it happen. The dates and stuff didn't work out. But yeah, he just kept following me, and to this day, I was like, oh, cool. But he's known for just like really rocking with his fans.
Down to earth.
Yep, super down to earth dude. So I think that just might be what that was about. But what? How? That is crazy. What's the date?
I think it's June 19th, 2016.
Wow.
Pretty sure. Yeah, Ade really likes his privacy.
And they just...
Here's us invading your privacy.
Here's everything.
Ade loves his privacy. So can you tell us about hashtag Chef Boy Ade?
Oh, yeah.
Where did that hashtag come from?
I just thought of it randomly, and I was with some homies, and we was like, yeah, hashtag Chef Boy Ade. Oh, no, I was choreographing some stuff, and they were just like, man, you over there chefing. That's what they said. And they was like, Chef Ade. And then I was like, that sounds like
Chef
Boy
Ade.
Ade. And that was it. That was it, man. That's it. Beginning and end of that story.
I love the little names like that just kind of happen. Like there's earned freestyle names, and then there's hilarious dumb stuff
just
like
little
that.
dumb stuff you just slide in there.
I love it.
Man, oh my goodness. Invasion City. Wow.
You know what's funny though? I think like, okay, I want to go back to two different things. One thing is about working with artists, because I think that I was talking to one of my friends. He makes skit videos on Instagram, and he was always he's tagging these famous people. Maybe he's doing a skit about and such, and doesn't often get viewership on it. But I think like here's one of my random hacks. You told me about the referral hack for agencies, right?
Oh yeah.
The referral tip. You can just send videos to people.
Right. Yeah.
You can literally like send videos to artists, and they will sometimes respond. Especially artists that are like they're not Ariana Grande followership, but people in millions to hundreds of thousands of followers. It's like, again, these are people, and some people just don't check their stuff, but many people do. Right. I'll name a few that I've had really good contact with. Right. First one was an artist I love. His name's Pretty Sister, aka Zach Waters. Love his music. He responded right off the bat. And then he just started sending me a bunch of songs. He's like, dude, you want to dance this? Anyways, I ate dinner with him like a month ago. We had a blast. Another one, Billie Eilish. When she was 12. I loved Ocean Eyes when it first came out. I heard it on a website.
That came out when she was 12?
I think she's probably around, like, she's really young. And I love that song. It was on a music blog aggregate site called Hype Machine. And that was how I found all my music. And Ocean Eyes popped up. It had like 100 hearts on that website. Played it, loved it. I choreographed to the Black Bear remix of that. And
I didn't even know Black Bear did a remix.
Yeah, wow. It's really sick. It's a good one. And I sent it. I just messaged it. She wasn't famous, you know, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so sick!" Yeah. All these.
Well, she used to be a dancer.
She was a dancer. Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that, but that's why she loves dance.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that we're in especially a new age where artists have an even deeper appreciation for dance for a few reasons. There's one where, holy crap, someone loved my song enough to make a choreography, and then the other one is, this has a chance to become a challenge and blow up on the internet. But nonetheless, if it's of value to you and you do feel like you want to hopefully connect with an artist, even just be noticed for a second, you know, I think it's okay. It is okay to do that. And you can just DM someone. Don't be annoying.
Definitely.
DM, tell them you love their music. It works sometimes.
Yeah, it does. It actually does. And even like you can get more creative. So you can hit up the artist, but then a cool thing to do is actually, if you know people in their team, right, in their management team and stuff, DM and hit them up, because they watch like whatever those people tell them to like look at, they'll look at, and there's an even bigger chance of those people seeing it,
True.
So
people around the teams.
like managers, photographers, like there's, who do I know who, somebody booked a thing with Diddy.
Yeah.
From his photographer. His photographer was just showing videos to Diddy, and he was like, "Yeah, what? Who is this? I want to hit him up."
Exactly.
So they FaceTimed him like right there.
I have gotten almost all of my gigs, hilariously, from working with people behind camera.
Yep.
And people followed me after like we've been on set, right? Because maybe I'm their editor, maybe I'm a cinematographer, maybe I'm a director for something. And we follow each other on Instagram. They're like, "Oh, this guy dances." And I've gotten most of my gigs. I've never had an agent. I've never auditioned for anything outside of like a school dance team type of thing. But I've gotten work because I was friendly with people on sets of random things. And they were like, "This guy dances and he's actually pretty good." And then I got gigs. I got some commercials. I got music videos.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Somebody's got to say it. I tell my students like a lot now. Very often I'll tell them, like, you don't need an agent. No. And I don't want agencies, don't assassinate me. Don't assassinate me. You know what I'm saying? But we don't need agencies.
Not in this era.
And we don't need managers. And you don't need none of those things. But those things can be a tool for some people.
Yes.
And if you're someone who is, just getting your feet wet, you really don't know anybody, and you feel crazy confused, it might be a good idea to work with an agency or have a manager so you can start to learn the ropes and how things go. But it's not a necessity. I mean, you just heard, right? We just heard.
Yeah.
So
another random thing about that I think is interesting is I was talking to some people that's been in our 3 choreographer 1 song episodes, and man, these are gorgeous people, right? They're good-looking people, and they still get typecasted very often at these types of auditions. Now, granted, showing up and going to those are such a good experience, but like, I'm an honest person. Look at me. I know I'm a 10 out of 10. No, I'm kidding. I am not this like drop-dead gorgeous person.
Yeah, you are.
Thank
You're
you.
so gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's like how my wife is a little taller than me, but I'm like, my personality is a little taller too. As
there you go. That's all that matters,
Oh yeah, I gotta have a good personality. But anyways, I think that opportunity that's set up by a lot of these people externally doesn't always come in a way that maybe is honoring of you as a person.
Right.
And I found that a lot of the opportunities that I got, I was so excited for because people thought about me.
Right.
People saw me in that role. And some of these things, like, they could have hired some random gorgeous person, somebody that like maybe fit a certain typecast, but I'm very comfortable in my own skin. A little thicky skin, It feels good to be me. And I think that when you meet other people, you build honest relationships with friends and people around. You are a lot more proud of the work you do and the value that you have for jobs.
Right.
It doesn't become about, I need to chase clout and numbers in order to feel like a successful dancer.
Right.
It's, wow, I'm really proud of the relationships and the people around me. And I find that to be something I really respect about you, Ade. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you as one of the first guests on the podcast, because I was like, this man is built different. This man really cares about people in a different way, and I think that's rare in this industry. Yeah, just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I feel regular, but sometimes there's stuff that other people see that we don't see in ourselves. So thank you.
I think that honoring other people and having values that are so deeply rooted in relationships is always extraordinary. I think that is the making of a person who truly changes lives, and not just a person who is seeking to change lives. Because I think that like it's something that's respectable, especially when it's just who you are. I see you know. Yeah. And so I really do think it's such a special aspect of you. Yeah. Not mean to put you on the spot and compliment you to death, but I
ain't blushing. You see these cheeks? They black as hell. I'm just kidding.
Do you know anybody in the dance world that has partnerships with the major music labels?
Right now, no, and that's what I kept saying. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs. Dude, I've been saying like what you guys are doing. The reason why I quit it so much is because what y'all been doing. I've been saying it for like, dude, since like 2013. I've been saying this.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, because I saw the ceiling of dance pretty fast.
Yeah.
Before I was even there, I was around like all the top people. Those
Yeah.
are all my homies. So I'm just looking, and I'm like, that's it? That's the top?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. But if we want to build some more, I'm down to like help build.
Yeah.
And that's what I always was about. And so it's just crazy because now like just seeing y'all do all of it, I'm like,
it's with the foundation that you guys have laid. We're able to dance has been made cool by the educators of the previous generations. Like early generations, when we're going to Buddha stretch, like it became fun to do. It became it became more than just a social dance. It became freestyle. It became like, damn, that's kind of sick, right? And then as we progress, we get these music video era, the Marty Kudelkas, right? We get to this point where it's like, oh, like dance can be used to really raise up these artists to another level. And then we get to like teaching era, right? Where taking a dance class and being a international choreographer, that's the hypest thing you can do.
Which is crazy because I was just talking to one of my homies maybe a week or two ago.
Okay.
We at first we didn't really want to teach like that. Like that wasn't like the thing. It wasn't, oh yeah, let me go and teach.
I feel like teaching is not the obvious thing unless you grew up in that. Like no one's like, oh, I want to get really good at this so I can teach people.
Right.
Yeah.
So we wanted to choreograph for artists and stuff.
Yeah.
And do industry stuff. Back then, that was the height.
Yeah.
That was like it. That was the top. Teaching was something we did to make money.
Survive.
To survive.
What other opportunities do you have?
That's it. And especially back then, like typecasting back then was rough. It's way better now.
I can only imagine.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. And they still do it sometimes where they'll have you dance all day and then cut you. Yeah. And then typecast you at the end and cut you. I'm like, I want to say a bad word, but I'm not. But it's like, yo, just typecast us at the beginning.
Yeah.
At least we have the rest of our day.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, teaching was not the thing.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because now teaching is the thing. And we see a lot of times people are making more money teaching than they are choreographing for artists and stuff. So
that's something that
flipped.
We, from the beginning of Steezy, which is basically when you started thinking about these ceilings, right? What, 2013, 2014? We've been around for now around 8 years now.
That's great.
Right? So, but people didn't know us 8 years ago. We in our living rooms writing a blog, right? But we've always cared about the dance ecosystem. And it's something that I know a lot of people care about, but not many people were willing to take time outside of physically dancing and putting themselves at the top of the game, which is a hugely respectable field. It's what inspired us. But many people are too focused on that, that they're not laying a foundation to be a launching pad for the next generation.
Right.
And half of that, like I remember early days of Steezy, I've been telling every instructor, every person that comes in here, first of all, our instructors get paid better than anyone that teaches any class like in LA. They get paid way better. We try to match these higher rates and make sure that people are able to get a livable, like if they were to teach at Steezy like once a day, which maybe they do. I don't. Some people teach a lot, right? With Steezy. Many instructors are, I'm here to teach my piece. I look dope, but you're dope too. These students are fire. They can learn the piece. It's cool. But it's not about the education at a certain point.
Well, that's what happens when, again, we talked about it earlier, when you are doing it for what? To be in the spotlight. That gets stuck in your mind even while you're teaching. Yeah. You never come out of that.
No.
There's no like switch over to like, let me be a good teacher now. Yeah. Some people have gotten better at doing that. Yeah. But for the most part, you're still trying to, this is still the me show. Yeah. Versus I'm a servant. Yes. I'm serving these people.
Yeah. The value, I always believe, the value of a dance teacher, of an instructor, someone who teaches so well, I believe that is much sexier and cooler than being great at dancing and making great choreographies.
100%.
What is that? information? What is that knowledge that you're passing down to another person? I get it. I am inspired by the sickest dancers I've ever seen, but I've never taken a class. But sometimes I will take some beginner class and then I'm just sitting there like, wow, my perspective on my body, my habits have been readjusted because of this. And I believe, Steezy believes, that these sort of people who care about the learning experience to that degree should be valued on a monetary level higher than people who are just good at dancing. And that's what we're doing. And that is the ecosystem that we're planning to build.
For anybody, aspiring to do anything similar or like this, a team is necessary. And for anybody aspiring to have any business or anything, a team is necessary. I know we live in this industry that's really like, again, spotlight, me, alone. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. That is not it. If you want to create something that stands the test of time, you need to have a good, solid team.
Yeah. But especially important when developing and growing a team is that you have to be aligned in your values. It's hard, man. You know how people always say like the key to like a good marriage, a key to the relationship is communication. But the caveat to that is you have to communicate with an understanding of each other's values.
Right.
And that should be shared early.
Right.
First. And it doesn't have to be like, hey man, just want to have a chat with you, lay down our values. But I think that can also be exemplified in how you develop relationship conversations, events, things you hang out with. You notice a person, hey, I'm going to go to this festival. Do you want to come? I think I'm good. And after a few times you invite them, you're like, rather than thinking they're not sociable, you can think, oh, that's not something that they really probably cherish.
Right.
At least not in this season. Right. And so it's like, taking the time to understand people on the level of what they really care about right now and also have always cared about is how you're really going to look into the right people to work with. And that can mean an agent. There can be an agent that understands your values and you've aligned on that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Flexible perspectives, flexible thinking, being able to not look at something from your own perspective all the time, being able to say, okay, I know that I see things like this, but just because I might see it this way doesn't mean this is real, doesn't mean this is true about this person. If they don't want to, if you invite them to the show, right, and they don't want to go, maybe they're an introvert, right? Maybe they don't like Brad Paisley, maybe they like Jay-Z, So being able to take a step back and kind of say, okay, like what's actually going on here? I think that's what's actually another part of executive function, of being able to.
What is executive function?
Executive function is essentially, it's like I don't know how to explain it, like a cognitive. It's like what you use to pretty much solve issues and problems in your day-to-day life. So an example of cognitive function, executive function would be you're better able to solve problems in your life, in your brain. You're better able to.
It's like decision maker.
It helps you to, yes, it helps in decision making. It helps for you to be able to control like your emotions and stuff, and not just like sporadically like just do things based off of how you feel in the moment, but to be able to take a step back and kind of think and kind of analyze the situation and what's going on around you mentally, so that you can start to take on whatever issue or problem or whatever needs to be handled, right? Whether it's on a mental or you're dealing with someone else or whatever.
Sure.
So that's more so like, go, if you got a second or if you get a chance, go and look it up. It's actually like really helpful. A lot of people think they have ADHD, and a lot of them actually just have issues with executive function. So, but it really helps. Like once you start, like there's like different drills and different things you can do to help with that. Actually, dance is one of the things you can do to help with that. So a lot of people don't know, but yeah, because dance is really good for obviously not just physical health in general, but mental health as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good for brain function.
Dance has been known to save people from Alzheimer's and things like that.
Yep. So all types of different forms of dementia.
Yeah.
Dance can save you. So if that's something, that you
runs in the
family, yeah, take care of it.
Hit a quick one too,
It decreases stress. Depression, anxiety, stress, all types of stuff. But one of the other things is that it can help you to build good executive functions.
Love.
So, yeah. Dance is actually pretty incredible. People don't realize it, but dance is pretty incredible.
You know what's crazy, too? Aside from all that, it looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? It's like most of the things that people do to help their health is like, I'm going to eat vegetables.
Right.
They're bitter, but I'll deal with it. I'm going to meditate. Meditation's great. I'm going to meditate, right? Dance? You're like, oh, yeah. My favorite artist has dropped a new song, and it's sick. I choreographed. I hung out with my friends when I did this. I exercised.
Boom.
I'm developing new skills throughout the whole... Like, are you kidding me? Dance is OP.
That's what I'm saying.
Dance is some crazy medicine.
That's what I'm saying. I think that we need to maybe start realizing that. And also too, it's it's like, a lot of people say it's a language, right?
Yeah.
So it helps you to connect when words, some people say when words aren't enough.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'd even say when you can't find the words, right? A lot of times it's just like, yeah, I really can't express how I actually feel, but I know how I feel, but I need some way to let that out, know? Because sometimes it's not even like a lot of stress relief is just expressing it a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's just getting it out.
Get it out.
So if you can't find the words, if you're talking and talking and talking, you're like, no, that's not exactly it. Like, I feel this way. That's not really exactly how I feel. But then you're like, well, I kind of feel, but if you're able to just say, you know what, I know how I'm feeling here. I'm gonna play this song and I'm gonna do this move, and this move is a representation of how I feel. It's gonna help you to get it out a lot better, because now it's not this that's the primal expression, right? It's this, and then you have that with, again, like you said, music. That's perfect combination.
It's beautiful.
Perfect combination.
And you're allowed to craft your expression in ways that a lot of other, like in terms of speaking, not many people are equipped to do. Many people grew up in families that didn't have strong communication skills. There's a lot of suppression. That's why dance is something that, who's seeing a person being like, right? So developing this skill also helps you develop new ways to love yourself and love on other people, express who you are. I mean, noticing how much you gesticulate. I hate that term, but
I do it a lot.
Gesticulation.
Oh
I'm a big gesticulator. I don't know how to feel about saying that, but
I'm trying to hold myself down.
Yeah, but this is dance. This is expressing ourselves in a bigger way than our words could just do on our own. I need this. I need it. Helps me do that. So if you ever felt like you can't dance and you notice you do gesticulate, just letting you know, just do this but bigger. Yeah, you can dance.
Yeah, it's movement. Like, dance is movement, right? So, we add rhythms to it and whatnot and make it cool.
It just provides form,
right?
For the expression.
Form, and to be in sync and whatnot, synchronization. But essentially, it's the same thing. It's literally movement. So
chatting with your body. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Dance is so cool.
I know, man. I know. I wish everybody felt that way.
Let's make that. Let's make it happen.
Okay, cool.
Let's make it happen.
I'm with it.
2 8 counts. Tell us what's happening in your life, and any cool things you got coming up.
There's definitely some stuff coming up, but I can't say.
Oh, you can't say these things?
I can't say.
Right, don't follow him because he likes his privacy.
Yeah, don't follow me. But no, there's some cool stuff. A lot of stuff. A few things within dance. A lot of stuff outside of dance. It's just things that it's been a long time coming. I can't say.
It's okay.
But yeah,
it's coming.
Be on the lookout.
All right, Ade. Well, hopefully we get to bring you back and talk to you soon.
Yes, definitely. I'm with it.
Let's go.
Boom.
Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks again for tuning in. Again, this podcast was brought to you by us, Steezy Studio. Be sure to get your dance on today, too. So if you want to get some exercise in, take a Steezy sweat class. If you want to just vibe out and feel good, you definitely need to check out a good groove along. Or if you're up for the challenge, it's time to finally start one of those advanced classes you've been eyeballing. We'll see you in class. This podcast was produced and edited by Josh Jang, and the theme music for the podcast is Tempo by Neiman.